Welcome back
to Marriage Beyond the Veil.
So it's day 220, which means it's time for a jewel.
Jewel number 22 by Gail.
Okay. And what is said jewel?
The jewel that I want to lift up today is being your authentic self. Now, we've talked about this on occasion in other posts, but I wanted to make it a jewel because for me, and for Fred, but really for me, that was a challenge for me when we first got married, was really allowing my authentic self to be transparent.
And let me ask a question. Why was it a challenge?
Because I'm a twin.
Okay.
That's
you
what
wanna,
I was
going to say you
I mean, I really felt like,
that?
because I really feel like for a lot of my life, it was me and Gayla, the twins, and so did I really have my own identity?
Is that what you're saying? I mean, is that honestly what you were thinking at the point we got married? Did you have your own identity? Really?
I mean, it was hard. I mean, and
I've never been a twin, so I can't speak to that.
And then I married somebody with a very vibrant personality. And, I'm not that extroverted type personality. So it was real easy for me to shrink behind them, not to mention I'm 5 feet tall. And so I really did struggle trying to find who my authentic self was.
But even though you were fun-sized, you were fun.
Yes. Okay.
Well, that's interesting, but and I imagine that people arrive in relationships coming from a myriad of places and experiences. Mm-hmm. So not being authentically who one is not necessarily something that's intentional or a negative.
No.
It's about, in your case, finding out who you really are. Right. And that's a different place to be. When you're talking about exploring and really coming into one's own, as opposed to, well, I don't want to share with this person because I sent my representative and that's the person that I want to see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and that's true.
Because normally that would be the reason why you don't share authentically who you are. Because it's like, well, he may not like the real me because this is what I presented.
Mm-hmm. Or sometimes I think you could have somebody who doesn't think that they're good enough for a person. Yeah. And again, that's not, showing who you authentically are. You're still...
And let me say this, and this is just my opinion, okay? But if you're in a place where you don't think you're good enough for someone, then I would suggest that you consider, are you ready to be in a relationship?
Yes, true statement.
Because I think more times than not, a lot of wonderful people miss potentially awesome opportunities because they're uncertain, they're not prepared,
right?
And you may, in some situations, only have one shot. So if you think about it from that perspective, I only got one shot, make it count, right? And if you know that I'm not really sure about who I am or what I want, or if I'm enough, then just pause. Take it slow, take your time, but get to a place where you understand who you are, what you want, so that whomever you may encounter, you will know if this is somebody truly you need to be on the journey with or not, or if you're even heading in the right direction or not. Because we've learned, and we've seen it many times, it doesn't matter why you change who you are to be with someone. Inevitably, you're going to get lost. And I've said this many times, and I just think it bears repeating. Folks, for those of you who, for whatever reason, that you don't want to be authentically who you are in a relationship, remember this. If the person that you're interested in don't want you, they don't want you. When you pretend, the fake, fraud, and phony, if that's what they're falling for, they're not falling for you. So if they don't want you, they don't want you. Accept it, embrace it,
Move on.
move on.
That's it.
Until tomorrow. So, the jewel for today, authenticity. If you're not sure who you are,
Spend some time.
get a handle on it. But if you think that you don't measure up, then wait until you feel that you do. Because you should not be tolerated or tolerate. You should always be celebrating and being celebrated. Till tomorrow. The Lord says the same.
Have a good evening.